Hey, this is Swaggers doing an inFAMOUS 2 review for GameGuideCentral.com. The PlayStation has managed to get some pretty nice exclusives like Little Big Planet and Uncharted, and the inFAMOUS franchise, all 2 games so far, has been no exception. inFAMOUS 2, the positives here really just leap off the screen at you. It has fantastic graphics, great sound and acting. Just some of the cutscenes are just superb. And it does have a very fluid, engaging story. It is an open-world game where you can run around, do a lot of side missions and that sort of thing, but it keeps the story flowing. The story continues where the first one ended. Cole McGrath here is failing to stop the beast while in Empire City, and so you have to run your little loser self all the way to the south to New Moray. Your powers will, of course, all get drained when you start inFAMOUS 2. You can't start off a sequel with all your powers. What would you upgrade? You know, so Cole has to not only work finding a way to beat the beast, but we're also going to be working to gain all the powers back. Now, inFAMOUS 2 has 2 separate but parallel storylines to take. Put simply, you're either a good guy or you're evil. In about every 4th mission or so, you get a chance to make a moral decision. Here we have a side karma event, which is to heal downed people and just help them out. They're sick. You give them a little electroshock therapy there, and it heals them. And these give you extra chances to boost both your karma or your evil. Evil is a lot easier. Oh, hey, there's a lady walking around. Like, hey, lady, how you doing? And you could just blast her, but you know that's not fun. That's too easy. So when you get to Flood Town here, you just kind of let them go about their daily business, and then, oh, you're gonna go walk in that water? You know, that's flood water. That's unsanitary. You know what else happens? Water's very conductive to electricity. Zap! Oh, bystanders go down. One thing they do that's nice is if you're good, it takes longer to hurt a citizen. If you're bad, it's easier to hurt a citizen. So, other evil opportunities include protesters. There's a lot of protesters out there calling you an idiot and a demon and that you're evil and you should die. And I mean, if they're just sitting out there while you walk by calling you a demon in broad daylight, I mean, are you expected to just let that go? That's not right. Let's just give them a little zap. Give them a little zap zap.
I'm not supposed to be here.
Yeah. Oh, there's another protester. Bye-bye, protester. Oh, he's still alive down there? Uh-oh, and the protesters have been silenced. There's also some that can go either way. Just because you see a good one, if you want to be evil, you know, you can still do something. Probably the biggest flaw of this game is the boss battles. The real poor design, in my opinion. For a game that has you doing a lot of, you know, parkour, climbing, most of the bosses have really no defense against you just climbing up to the highest building and raining pain down on them. This is the Devourer, one of the first bosses, and you know, you just sit up here, and yes, they can hit you. You know, they shoot those little things up here, but they don't do damage. On hard, I mean, you can take 2 of those hits, and that's the only thing he's got going for him. So how is that a boss? It makes the boss battles just kind of tedious. I've also had glitches with bosses here. I'm trying to fight the Hive Lord, which again, these boss battles just get tedious because they really can't do much damage. And look, they're up, and he's caught. He's caught under the stairs there and can never come out. So I got to kind of throw some cars in there and try to damage him. Your other issue with the bosses is that they're not very good at pathing either. They'll run themselves straight into walls for no reasons, and you know, it really affects the gameplay. And some of the bigger bosses, like the Behemoth here, are on rails, which means they're always going to go forward. They're not really aiming at you. Oh, and look, their weaknesses are brightly colored neon orbs. Can we get away from that, developers? Why does it always have to be a brightly colored neon orb that we have to shoot? Why don't you make it the dark area? Make the whole monster brightly colored neon. Or better yet, let us figure it out. You know, they give it to you, and then it's not even tough. You're much more likely in this game to die from the most common enemies on hard than from any boss, because the common enemies, you know, they have the machine guns here. This is on hard, and I was actually trying to die, but I love the finishing moves. Finishing moves are great. Give you a little jack up power drain too. Rocket launchers, which are really what the bosses should be firing at you, will just boom, one shot kill you. There's no question about it. I'm kind of stuck trying to fight these guys and also defuse this bomb. And then boom, one shot from a rocket was at mostly full health, dead. This game does have a ton of collectibles. See this little purple-blue shard there? Yeah, I got to find 305 of them. That's correct. 305. I mean, you're going to go all over the place. What's nice is that when you do, you can ping for electrical sources to gain some energy back. You know, like these light bulbs that could suck all the energy out of these lights. But it also shows you where any shards are that are close to you. And when you get to the end, you'll be able to buy an ability that will automatically, no matter how far away it is, show you where the closest one is. So that's nice. I'm also okay with the collectibles, even though there's so freaking many, because they do help you. Collectibles do give you more energy storage capacity, so at least they're worth something. You know, you're not just walking around finding some idiotic item in the game and it doesn't even do anything. Besides the shards, there are also dead drops, which are pigeons flying in circles. So it's not like they're flying over the whole map. They're, you know, continually flying through one location. And these pigeons also have, at least there's 29 of them, not too bad. They show up on the map when you're close. And they also have information for the storyline, which is really nice. So, I mean, again, 29, that's not too bad as far as collectible goes in these days. Boom, there goes one pigeon. Some areas like this, there's like 3 of them flying around, and when you pick them up, like I said, they give you a little bit of the story, so at least that's something. So I can't hate the collectibles in this game. 305 is a bit ridiculous. I always find collectibles to just be a stupid way to keep you playing their game. You know, jack up their stats. You know, well, people have played our game for, you know, 12 hours. Yeah, 12 hours, 8 of which is finding collectibles. The thing I hate also with the story mode is that there's really only a couple missions that are different. So there's no multiplayer, but they do have this mission editor, which I have never used, and I just kind of jumped into just to show you, hey, you can put stuff around. And I don't know, I've never been a big fan of mission editors. There's probably maybe 0.1% of people in this entire world who are going to make missions that I think are interesting. And you get things like new mission and bridge over troubled waters. You know, all these things show up on your map. They clutter your map. They're not, obviously they're made by some kid somewhere, so they're not as well thought out as the actual side missions, of which there are 80. So what I did right away was, yeah, mission filters. What do I want to show? No missions. I don't want to see any of your missions some 5-year-old made. You know, good to have it in the game, but it's not really something I'm interested in. Difficulty is something a lot of people gloss over, but I like a game with a challenging hard mode. And Infamous 2 does deliver with a game. You're going to be redoing sections on hard, but you know, I'm a controller breaker. I get mad, I throw a controller, and I didn't feel there were any moments where I really wanted to, you know, just break a controller. They have good use of checkpoints so that even small progress is saved. So you're always really moving forward and feel like you're doing a good job. Overall, I'm going to give Infamous 2 a 9 on design. The game lacks any real modes other than just playing the story. The trophies are challenging but doable, and the story is really well done. But like I said, you know, you're really just playing the single player. That's all you've got. Gameplay, I'm going to give an 8, mainly because the only replay factor is going back to do, like, if you did a good campaign, is to go back and do an evil campaign, and that's literally 5 choices. So you're going to play the whole campaign and only have 5 small side missions. I mean, it's like every 5th mission you'll do something different. So that gets tedious, that you have to keep replaying really the same thing over and over again. And then just how horrible the bosses were made these battles really stale and tedious. And the bosses are repeated. I really think they dropped the ball on bosses. There wasn't much variety. Presentation, definitely a 10, full on, 100%. This game is just beautiful. The cutscenes are perfect. The acting is top notch. What a great story. What some really great comedy moments. The camera angle was great. I think I got blocked by a wall for all of 2 seconds in the entire game. Overall, I'm going to give Infamous 2 9 out of 10. More variation in the evil versus good, and actually making the boss battles memorable would definitely put this into a 10 out of 10. But you know, it's not perfect, but it is a very good game, and I highly recommend buying it. Thank you.